This is the end of war-torn turn 0. The Soviets, role-playing yet again, didn't launch a surprise attack because we've been working on the basis that people were trying to avoid a war, and they've just stumbled into this war. So that means also Pact forces, they can't move or attack. They can't actually do anything. The only thing that can take place is Norwegian early reaction, which the Norwegians really only move one unit. Most of their units are guarding strategic ports and things. The terrain is difficult, and also there's Arctic movement restrictions above this line here. So there's very little activity here. The main activity was in Germany, where NATO units in Germany, which are not on the border, can actually move. What you got to do is roll a dice for each unit that wants to move, add 3 to it, and if it's less than or equal to the proficiency rating, that unit can move. So British units, a lot of British units moved into the line, as did some Germans, and the Americans shoring up the line as well. There's still a couple of weak points which the Soviets can exploit. Other units, there were some the French units in Germany have just redeployed onto these Puncus reinforcement hexes. Sorry about that, I just had to check something. Don't make the mistake I did of moving things that aren't in Germany. I ended up moving the Belgians, the Netherlands, a lot of these French units here, and even some Italian units before I thought, I wonder if I should move the Turkish units. And when I went to look in the rule book, it's only units in Germany which are not on the Pact border. So I had to go back to the setup charts and put all the Italian, French and Belgium and Netherlands units back to where they were. So that's really the only activity. It's going to be a full war next turn, so we'll move this first turn surprise indicator here because they didn't take that option. We'll remove the NATO forward movement thing here because that option's been taken. So there's still things like Pact transport restricted, Soviet strategic reserve deployment. So there's a few other things that need to be placed. Norwegian early reactions taking place. I can remove that. So let's go and have a look at the Persian Gulf maps. Right, in the Palestine theatre, there's been quite a lot of activity. The Israelis have broken through the Syrian line, and the Syrians are in a bit of a mess here. Iraqis decided to stop at the moving through Syria to basically regroup as far as they can. Egyptians had a go at the Israelis but couldn't make any progress at all. The Israelis are basically deciding not to do anything on the Egyptians front. Let's knock the Syrians out first and then we'll deal with the Egyptians. Saudi forces are moving to the Jordanian border. They might intervene there to help the Jordanians. You've got Russian units clashing with the Iraqi units in the mountains here in western Iran. You've got Russian and American units fighting in the central Iran here. So it's pretty much pretty much evens in terms of the balance of the game in the Persian Gulf. But obviously, with everything moving over to Europe now, it's gonna quieten down a bit on this map. In terms of air, there's been quite a lot of air activity, but a lot the Syrians and the Egyptians have taken quite a lot of losses in terms of air units shot down. There's a Jordanian unit being shot down. A couple of American units been shot down doing ground support and deep strike. Not a lot more to say really. Now there's some units due to arrive now because we'll be switching on to war turn 1 next.